tall, masterful individual. Why don't you come up here, get things started. Steal the seat, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, set up your recording equipment. Very important. Here, I'm even going to give you my microphone, unless you've got your own. You're good? All right, while we're prepping for the slide, fortunately we have a technology guy that's part of the membership team. All right, Quentin.
Yes, sir.
What's the secret to your success?
My friends. I think that your network is your net worth, and if you surround yourself by really good people, you'll level up, and I always am interested to meet just really good people wherever I go. So I think my one small trait is attracting great people into my life. So thanks for all of you for being here and being part of it.
Amazing. Let me just check the time. Give me 1 second. All right, 12:51. 10 minutes. Ready to start?
Yep.
Go.
All right, well, welcome everybody. I think that this is apparently BNI history. That the founder of BNI invited 16 guests for his first ever launch of this organization. Since then, there's been over 500,000 members, and I think today, with over 20 people invited, this is a history you're all witnessing, so thanks so much for coming out. But I think we've had enough fun, so now let's talk about death and taxes. I'm launching a new brand for my business here called Legacy Wealth Management. Is there a clicker, or how does this work?
Oh, let's try clicker. It's right there.
Okay.
The right arrow should let you jump in. There you go.
And what got me into the financial services space is I read this book called The Secret Asset, and it talks about life insurance as an asset. And this one family created over $100 million in wealth buying insurance on all their family members. So they're buying investment or insurance in their grandparents, their parents, the children as soon as they're born. And I was like, I want to help families create wealth like this. So I went and I got my license. I learned more getting this license than any university degree that I got, and I've got 2 of them. I grew up in Edmonton, had a basketball scholarship to go play at University of Winnipeg, where I graduated with a BA and a pre-law degree in conflict resolution and mediation. That was me playing basketball. I was number 22 with my old team. And the cool thing is, my son is now 21 years old playing college basketball in California. So that's him dunking over a cheerleader right there, which is pretty crazy. But my degree came in handy because, unfortunately, when I was quite young, I was about 23 years old when my son was born, and not long after that I went through a 10-year court custody battle fighting for custody of my son. And that's why I'm a big advocate of Omar and his legal work to help protect families. And I actually did a TEDx talk, basically calling out the whole legal industry, and the university that was hosting the TEDx talk didn't like it because I kind of said it's a business model that's not there to help but hurt families. So I said, how can I prevent families from going through that? And a lot of divorces come from financial fights and things like that. My other TED Talk that I did was about travel. I've been to over 30 countries. That's kind of my passion, is traveling. And when I went to kind of rebuild my life, I went to Korea. So I helped open up an international school in South Korea, Seoul. And then I got a university professor position, and I won Teacher of the Year for 2 years. And that was great. We have a couple of Koreans here that we were talking about earlier in Busan. But when I came back to Canada in 2020, it was the worst time to ever probably start a career. Luckily, it worked out well for me. I got on board and won a few awards being a top advisor for an Inc. 5000 company. And from there, I learned more about business, finance, won some awards, and they even sent me this watch, which was pretty cool for being a top producer there. And then I got into finance through crypto. I saw things early. I don't have a lot of skills, but I'm good to see trends. So I got into e-commerce really early in about 2006. I was selling courses online before anybody else started doing it. Everyone's doing it now. But my first ever podcast and YouTube channel, I was telling people to buy Bitcoin at only $900. And I was like, oh, there's something there. People thought I was crazy. Even my dad thought I was crazy. Ethereum was $14. And I also saw opportunities in real estate. So got a condo in Vancouver in about 2005. And then also this property in the Philippines is kind of my retirement plan. I bought some land, and this island became an award-winning island a couple of years after I bought it in the Philippines called Siargao. So I've been good at seeing trends, and I see trends now with taxes in Canada increasing. And one of the ways to reduce taxes is through insurance. So I'm going to walk you through the 3 kinds of life insurance. Number 1 is term. A lot of realtors and mortgage brokers, I would love to work with you, because a lot of people that buy a property, they get put into something called MPP, Mortgage Protection Plan. It's not really the best for the client. So I'd love to help work with life insurance to help protect the family investing instead of the bank who's giving the mortgage. The two other insurances are permanent insurance, whole life. This is a way that you can actually never lose money. It's contractedly only to go up. So whole life is permanent insurance. It's great for tax-free growth and also estate planning, so that when someone does pass away, we'll talk about that later, there's a lot of expenses when someone passes away, have the insurance pay for it instead of yourself or your family. And then the other permanent insurance called universal life. So people who like to do like investing, this is where you can do the same kind of investments in your policy that you're probably doing in your TSFA or your RSP, but you can do like the S&P 500, NASDAQ, any stocks within that policy, and it grows tax efficiently. So both are great for retirement supplementation as well. So what I do personally myself through my corporate-owned insurance policy and that I set up for clients is ways that you can actually get money out of your corporation tax efficiently. Because if you want to take money out of your corporation, you're going to get hit with taxes, right? Or if you want to take money out of your RSP, you're going to get hit with fees and taxes as well. So instead of paying like 30% in tax to access your money, you can pay just 5% in interest, borrowing it from your policy. And the beautiful thing about this, they call it the AND asset, because you can keep your money invested in the policy compounding, and the insurance company will give you a loan on it. So you can actually keep your money compounding. Warren Buffett says compounding is the seventh wonder of the world. And you can do that with this asset, and it's the only asset that allows you to do that in financial services. So I'm going to show, like, really transparent my own personal setup, because there's a book that revolutionized the way I look at where I store money. Most people think the bank is your only option. If you have over $100,000 in your bank, you're not insured. So if something happens to that bank, it's also available for creditors. So if you get in a lawsuit, divorce, something like that, it's also at risk for liabilities. This is pretty transparent. I wanted to show you my own personal policy here to just kind of show you that I've put my money where my mouth is. This is my own retirement strategy. I have about a $2 million insurance policy. 1.3 is permanent, $700,000 is term. And I've personally funded over $250,000 into this because it's a much better ROI than just keeping it in a bank. So I have, my first year doing this, I got about a 26% return. Second year is 32%, and this past year is 15% with all the tariffs. But as you can see, it's grown to about $264,000 that compounds and grows tax-free, that I don't pay any annual tax on. And I can access it anytime I want without triggering tax. So it's really, really powerful, especially for retirement planning. And the way that you can do this is you have two components, cash value and insurance. So the way I design these policies, I want the lowest amount of cost of insurance with the highest amount of cash value. So that's what's going to make your investments grow. You put your premiums in monthly or yearly, and when you do pass away, it blossoms into a cash deposit of a beneficiary for your family. And in Canada, there's only 3 ways you can grow your wealth tax efficiently. Number 1 is your primary residence. Okay, thanks, Jim. Is tax efficiently is your primary residence. Number 2 is your TSFA or first-time home buyers. And number 3 is investments inside of the life insurance policy. Most people do these 2. They have no idea that this is an option. But this is what wealthy families have been doing forever to protect and grow their generational wealth and keep it out of the government's hands. And if anybody here has trouble saving money, I think we all do, a great savings plan, if you feel like you're behind on actually like your retirement savings, I call this the jackpot. If you look around, there's probably about 50 business owners here. Unfortunately, half of us are going to get a critical illness. Cancer, stroke, heart attack, something's going to happen eventually. If and when it does, you can get a massive payout, $100,000 up to $500,000 tax-free, by just simply where you save your money. If you put money aside in this policy every month, and if you never get sick, you can actually get 100% of your premiums back. So at the end of the term, never make a claim, you get all your deposits back. But if you do, you kind of get a jackpot to help you survive and not have to work through your treatment. Cost of funeral. When my dad moved here, we went to look at funeral homes. It was $70,000 to have my mom and dad 2 plots next to each other at the ocean front. If you've never looked into how much it costs to pass away in this country, your family members will be paying for it if you don't have the money, and that's where insurance comes in. So don't have a GoFundMe funeral. Let's get you and your family protected. And talking about that, my dad's brother here, Dennis, my Uncle Dennis, was Jim Pattison's finance executive for many years. On your table, you have a letter that Jim actually mailed me after I had my last meeting with him, talking about how he used insurance and these strategies to help launch and build his empire. So that's a little thing you can also send to people if you want to refer them to me. Be like, hey, my life insurance agent works or has a letter of endorsement from Mr. Jim Pattison there, and that'll put you in a good status there yourself for doing so. So the good news and bad news. The bad news is we're all going to pass away. The good news is if you have proper planning, you can create generational wealth for your family by just relocating where you keep your money each month. And I'm offering a free 1-hour consultation for any of your friends, families that need to start planning this so that you're not the one dealing with it when that time comes. So I'm happy to help anybody here. And just real quick, Keith helped me create this plaque. I donated a little prayer area to my church. That's where Lucy and I connected to. I'm really big on helping my family. This is a YouTube video I gave when I kind of surprised my parents with $10,000 cash when they told me not to invest in Bitcoin, but I did. So now they're happy I didn't listen to them. And I am a member of a men's group called the Knights of Columbus. It was actually founded on insurance. And as Lucy said, I am recently been voted as a board of directors member for the local Conservative Party. So secret's out. I hope you don't hate me. And I think that's it here. That's it. I would love to help. If you know anybody that needs kind of some planning, I'm here anytime. I'm the only Quentin Carlin online. Feel free to reach out. And that is my presentation. Thank you so much.
Just checking time, because BNI gets angry with me if I go over.
Yeah.
How about, is there a question that anybody specifically has for Quentin? And if not, that's okay. It's overwhelming,
That was overwhelming.
but digestible.
Yeah.
Does anybody have any questions? Oh,
I saw that you have 3 types of life insurance. Which one do you think is great for, let's say, your kids at the very beginning?
Yeah, so for younger families, term is great. It's the most affordable. If it's just for protecting the families or a mortgage, term is really, really easy and cheap. If you're wanting to do more like wealth accumulation and estate planning, whole life is really solid. If you want to do more like stock growth in it, universal life. So there's 3 options, and I'm happy to kind of walk you through some different options.
Not critical illness for kids too. I remember my kids actually paid for the first couple of years of university because we cashed it out like when they hit 21.
Correct. Yeah, critical illness is another way to just save up money too. But as far as life insurance, there's those 3, and then critical illness, disability. I can help with all those. Yes, sir.
Quick question, manifestation. Let's say I raise $2 million tomorrow.
Yeah.
How would you recommend that I approach my next stage in terms of using and then investing some of that?
Yeah.
Big question.
Yeah.
just one short.
I would say Omar has a great service where we want to protect it from liabilities and having a corporation. So if you are a self-employed and you don't have a corporation, and it's also a way to lower your taxes, is I would set up a corporation or some kind of holding company to keep those assets in, and then look at diversifying. But insurance is a great way to protect it too, because it's also creditor proof. So if you do have a liability of a lawsuit, money inside of insurance policy can't be accessed through any kind of situations.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm sure there's lots of questions we can be asking Quentin on this, and certainly I welcome you to engage him since clearly most of you are here for it, which is great. But thank you, Quentin.
Thank you.
Just for time.
Yeah, of course.
Thank
Thanks.
you. Wellness for kids, eh? All right. Community events, online lunch and learns. So this is